Hello everybody, good evening or good afternoon wherever you're at. It's Najumu here and welcome back to Paper Perjury. So, a little bit of a recap for those who missed the first stream. Basically, we are put in the shoes of a police clerk named Justina. And right on her first day, she gets involved in a case, or rather a series of interconnected cases, and that is all from just trying to fix some evidence that was actually implemented on the police HQ's PCs. So yeah, so last time around at the end we realized that something is a little bit sus with the Eubanks family. So the Eubanks family are a pretty well-known and rich family in the city where Justina resides. And they're a little bit sus, to say the least, because a lot of the donations that have been given to the orphanage that they ran, apparently the patriarch of the family is taking it on its own. So, and eventually through a series of events, the maid actually gets, she gets like bonked on the head pretty hard that she's in a coma. And now we're trying to actually find who did it. And the chef of the household, doesn't want to tell us what actually happened on that day. And now we're back in the precinct, and Hopefully, we'll try to interrogate him and get some answers out of him and get to the bottom of this mystery, to say the least. With that said, looking at the chat, we have Stranger. Hello, Stranger. How you doing? Welcome. All right, anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, April 16th, 3:30 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct number 5, the viewing room. Here I am again, outside the interrogation room. I took the opportunity on the way over to clean out my notes. You seem nervous, Miss Assistant. Of course I'm nervous. Interrogating one person was hard enough, and now I have to do it with a lawyer in the room. I'm not qualified for any of this. Why aren't you handling this? You should think more highly of yourself. You've got a perfect confession record. Most detectives would kill for that. Yeah, a perfect record of 1. Terrible thieves are one thing. I dealt with customers trying to swindle my dad enough times to handle that. But I never dealt with a lawyer. She's just another obstacle in the way of the truth. Remember, nothing she says can change the facts. This is a test of logic and reason, same as before. As long as we have the facts on our side, the truth will reveal itself. You're gonna get us a confession, Miss Assistant. I'll keep Miss Eubanks off your back. If anything goes wrong, I'll be the one taking the fall. I trust you to see this through. But what if we missed something? What if Mr. Curry is innocent? Well, that's what we'll find out. Just trust your instincts, Miss Assistant. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, let's go. Hold it! Miss Earl? What's wrong? Ernest, I don't know what you did back at the estate, but the chief is livid. He wants you in his office immediately. The chief will have to wait. We have an interrogation to conduct. This isn't even your department, Ernest. If the chief finds out... Have I ever led you wrong before, Sue? I need you to trust me on this. Keep the chief busy. I'll handle him after this is done. I never saw you, but if you two mess this up, I won't be able to protect your jobs. This applies to you too, Justina. No. If I lose this job, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. Don't worry about that. We have everything we need to win this case. But we only proved he went to Chandra's room. Don't have grounds to arrest the man. When the police arrived this morning, Ferris was with Detective Swift, and Owen was snooping through Chandra's bedroom. Oliver's the only one unaccounted for. I hope you're right, Detective. Let's get started. April 16th, 3:32 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct 5. Interrogation room. Oh boy, it's time to let them break down and fess up. He's still carrying the pan. What the hell? Like, you're in an interrogation. What are you gonna cook, my guy? Oh my goodness. So much for this being actually grounded compared to the Ace Attorney games. Now that we're all here, let's get started. Oliver Curry, now that you have a lawyer, we'd like to ask you a few questions. Were you in Miss Lear's bedroom this morning? While my client acknowledges that he was indeed in Miss Lear's bedroom, he denies having anything to do with her attack. My client was simply looking for Miss Lear, and upon finding out she was not in her room, he left. I wish it was that simple. Someone attacked Miss Lear, and it wasn't the thief. Monsieur and Miss Lear were working together. She'd have no reason to attack Miss Lear.
Have you considered that they may have had a falling out, Detective? Perhaps this Monsieur wanted the money for herself. Either way, my client is not involved.
Mr. Curry, why were you really in Chandra's room at the time of the attack? I was just looking for her. I swear it.
Why were you looking for her?
Does that matter? I have a right to privacy.
You don't need to answer that, Oliver. Look, Detective, I don't care what sob story that thief gave you, but you have no grounds to try and pin this on my client.
Hannah might be a thief, but she wouldn't simply kill her dearest friend. I'll stake my badge on it.
You have no proof my client was at the scene of the crime, only at Miss Lear's bedroom. We'll see about that. Mr. Curry, just to give us your official statement as to your movements at the time of the crime. Tell them the truth, Oliver, and this will all be over soon.
Oliver Curry's statement, first course, visiting Chandra. After finishing breakfast, I decided to speak with Chandra privately. I thought she was in her room, but when I looked, she wasn't there. Looking back, she must have been in the trophy room already. After all, she called the police from the phone in that room, and that's where you found her. Then I passed by Mr. Eubanks on my way back to the kitchen. That's where I remained until Chandra was found.
I knew this would be harder.
It's too soon to give up. If Oliver is the one who attacked Chandra, then she couldn't have been attacked in the trophy room. Think of what would have to be true for that to be possible, and you'll find the answer.
A way to prove Chandra wasn't attacked in the trophy room. Do I have anything like that?
Alright, let me try to lower the audio a bit. There we go. Okay, let's question.
What exactly did you want to talk to her about? Don't answer that, Oliver. Miss Smith, why is that all important? My client has a right to privacy, you know. Unless, of course, you can shed some light on the matter. Should I try to push for an answer, or drop it? Press further. That conversation is critical. It can explain why Oliver attacked her. You really don't give up, do you? Oliver, tell her what you were talking to Chandra about.
Dinner? Oh, I hate this woman already. Well, she does seem to be, you know, one of those high-class, haughty people. And, yeah, she is, the Eubanks. She is Owen Eubanks' wife, so... And apparently she's also a lawyer. I was going to ask her about dinner preparations. Also, hi, Kenny. Welcome.
Happy now, Miss Smith? You thoroughly wasted all of our time. There's no way that's the truth. There's no way that's the truth of the matter. He's lying. I know it.
I genuinely hope she's the Winston Payne of this world. I don't know. It would be funny if she's actually bald.
But I don't think pressing any further is going to do any good. Better move on.
Okay, let's question this. Did you have some reason to believe she'd be in her room? Well, after she delivers breakfast, that's normally where she goes.
But wasn't she asked to clean Mr. Eubanks' golf club? Why wouldn't you think to check there? We could spend all day asking whys and why nots. My client checked her room, not the trophy room. Unless you have proof otherwise, let's move this along. Quite the assumption to make. But how do we know she wasn't in the bedroom still?
I just told you I didn't see her.
Well, yeah, but maybe she was hiding in the wardrobe. And why, pray tell, would she be doing that? I have some more questions to ask you. Let's continue. That's where we think she called from. But she could have called the police from anywhere. Then how exactly did her body end up in the trophy room? I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but bodies don't teleport. Maybe the culprit moved the body. You think we wouldn't notice someone dragging a body around the house? Fair point. Still, something doesn't seem quite right about all of this.
Ah, hey, Kiska. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Kiska and Raiders. How you all doing today? Amarato Ame. Hello. Welcome. Let me drop in a shout out. Hold on. Just a second. There we go. Yeah. I gotta run. I gotta take my dog, go get groomed right now, but I have a great sleep. But thank you, Kiska, and I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. For those who are not familiar, my name is Najumu. I am a being from light years away, millions of light years away, and who has come to Earth to have nothing but fun. I play a variety of games, but with a slight bias towards fighting games and visual novels like this one. And recently, in the past few months, we've been playing some Marvel Rivals and Monster Hunter. This game is pretty much paper perjury, which is inspired from the Phoenix Wright games, right down to the interrogations and the weird people like this guy who is still having a pan and is cooking something in the interrogation room. That's wonderful. Also, I didn't know you had a Twitch account, Kenny, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, let's continue then. Question. Did Mr. Eubanks say what he was doing there? Like, say, looking for something? You've slandered my husband enough for today. Leave him out of this. Cooking in the interrogation room. Perfectly normal, non-sus behavior. Totally not sus. Lesson learned. Don't bring her husband into this. It's true. That's where I remained until Chandra was found. I do this all the time. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, you're definitely gonna cook up something other than food, though. Cook up a bunch of lies, maybe? Why didn't you just keep looking for her? Seems a little strange to give up so easily. I can't leave the kitchen unattended for too long. If Toasty were to show up. Besides, I still had cleaning to do there. And what a lovely job you did of it. That kitchen was immaculate. Alright. I actually like cooking. Cooking is great, you know? Cooking is one of these things that I would love to do, but I need more experience in it. Because, you know, I am a big fan of food of all kinds, right? Like, outside of like watching like, you know, random like fighting game related videos or documentaries, I always look at like cooking stuff. Yeah. You want some recipes? Ooh. You can actually share them in the Discord if you like. I wouldn't know where exactly. I don't think we have an off-topic section on the Discord, but you know, you can, yeah. Cooking can be creative, so yeah, I guess you can put that. I love cooking up plots. Ooh. But for those and cover-ups, oh no. But for those who are curious, exclamation mark Discord. This is the Discord. It's not as, you know, super active as a lot of other Discords, but I do post up the schedules there and pings for streams, both on YouTube and on Twitch. So feel free to join if you'd like. Yeah, if you're gonna be cooking up plots and cover-ups, are you familiar with carbonara pasta? Yes, actually. It's pretty good. I like carbonara. Okay, so let's actually find a way to dispute. I'm joking. Yeah, don't worry. I get you. Ever tried to cook it with mushrooms? I would expect it to go very well. Maybe with some, you know, tomato sauce or... And what is that usual white sauce that is used, that works really well with pasta? I actually forgot its name. Okay, let's see. Looking back, she must have been in the trophy room already. Oh, we already read that, though. Oh. Whoa. Hold up. When it skips, it just spins through the entire messages. I passed Eubanks on my way to the kitchen. Well, so here's the thing. For this specific instance of carbonara, I would advise against going against tomato sauce. Oh, okay. I guess maybe something like pesto? Would that work? Maybe pesto might be... I think pesto would work well with carbonara. Let's see. Owen admits to have entered Chandra's room to the assault. He claims... Wouldn't that make it a Genovese pasta if it's pesto? I'm not sure. Maybe. What about this? Oh, that's not it. Detective, rein in your assistant. She's out of line. Let's not get a lawsuit on our hands, Miss Assistant. Think carefully before you make accusations. She wasn't there. Oh, that's not it? Alright, let's try again. I thought she was in her room, but when I looked, she wasn't there. Let's look at the... Instead, utilize cream. Oh! Okay, cream would be another good choice for carbonara pasta. Let's actually go back. Looking back. We call the police from the phone in that room. No, that doesn't make any sense because the phone is disconnected, right? Yes, there we go. It makes both the pasta and the mushrooms more filling, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, usually cream is like, you know, it's kind of has a bit of a fatty taste. So it basically adds more to the experience of like eating, to say the least, and making you feel full. So that makes a lot of sense. And pasta itself can be very filling. It's true, Mr. Curry, that there's a phone in the trophy room. However, Miss Lear couldn't have used that phone. When we checked the trophy room, that phone wasn't even connected anywhere. Preposterous. Huh? How do you know that that phone was disconnected prior to the attack? Have you considered that the thief could have done that to try to cover their tracks? So did Oliver do it? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that Owen is behind this. But he's trying to protect, like, his boss. Besides, where else should she have called the police from? I'm glad you asked, Mrs. Eubank. Allow me to show you. This is what Miss Lear phoned the police on. Alright, let's see. So Owen is the one cooking a cover-up. Yeah, pretty much. It's his fault. Okay, need another phone. If Owen did it, assuming he's the one responsible, here's the question that arises. Chandra's telephone. There's another phone in Miss Lear's own bedroom, which has been damaged, almost like the phone was dropped. The voicemail she left was abruptly cut off when she was attacked. The phone breaking would explain that. That's complete conjecture, Miss Smith, and you know it. How do you know that Miss Lear's phone wasn't already broken? Miss Lear was in the trophy room. We already know this much. Allow me to explain. Rebuttal, a delightful explanation. We've already established that Miss Lear was in the trophy room. Not only is that where her body was found, there's also a solid reason. Owen had asked her during breakfast to clean up one of his golf clubs. It is clear she had never had a chance to do so, as the thief intercepted her then. I thought Oliver would be the only one we had to question. It's her job as a lawyer to speak on behalf of her client. Don't let it get to you. If Oliver's guilty, her argument is sure to have a hole in it. And what if Oliver is innocent? If that's really the truth, then that's what we'll reveal. Don't focus on finding a lie, but rather why the evidence doesn't support her claim. Are Oliver and Ferris ignorant of his crimes, and are protecting him out of loyalty, or are both of them aware of this are both of them aware of his transgression and are in fact on it? I have a good feeling it might be the latter. Either that or Ferris and Owen are in this together, and they're probably threatening Oliver to not say anything, or else he might, like, get into even bigger trouble. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's actually question each one so we can get more, like, clues.
I agree. She must have been there at some point. But she could have left and returned to her room. Why was her body in the trophy room then? Maybe she came back before she was attacked. Miss Assistant, you realize that would mean Oliver didn't attack her, right? I'm just speculating on possibilities. Let's carry on. Why was the landline there disconnected then? As I stated before, perhaps the thief hid it away to cover their tracks. That's ridiculous! Why would a thief hide a phone? Why did the thief break into our home in broad daylight to begin with? We can speculate on their reasons all we want, but unless you have proof otherwise, let's drop it. Right. He mentioned that a friend wanted to borrow it. But why make her clean it right away? Couldn't it have waited? My husband spends most of his day in the office. He doesn't encounter Chandra often. He saw her during breakfast, and so that's when he mentioned it. Chandra is always prompt in her duties. You ask me, I think he just wanted an excuse to search her room. How are you so sure she didn't have a chance to clean the club? It's just an assumption. I can't imagine another reason she'd be lingering in that room. Sounds like if I can prove her wrong here, she won't have much of a leg to stand on. Let's see. Owen had asked her during breakfast to clean one of his golf clubs. Let's see. Golf club cleaner found in Chandra's chest of drawers. Wait, hold up. Wait, what about the club cleaner? It's in her drawer. Oh, that's not it. Justina's kind of cute. Yeah, she is. However, Miss Eubanks is claiming... Oh, let me go back. Oops. Sorry. Let me actually read that again. There's no way she could have been cleaning the club in the trophy room. However, Miss Eubanks is claiming she never had the chance to. Just need to prove her wrong. She never had a chance. Surely she had a chance. Let's see. A small broken camera found in Chandra's chest of drawers. So this is the second case of the game, right? Yes, that is correct. It was broken today, and there are traces of golf cleaner on it. Yeah, not this one. Yeah, that's not it. Was she in the trophy room? I don't think so.
how smart, competent Justina has been so far as a detective. Here's the thing, though. She is actually a police clerk, right? And she was just thrown into the mix because she tried to fix something in the evidence when it came to typing it on the precinct species, right? And now she's involved in this case. She's still like, it's still her first day on the job, so she is trying her best as much as she can. Well, how good is that best? I'll say decent, especially for someone who isn't like a detective to begin with. She's doing pretty well. Is it Kyoko tier or Detective Gumshoe tier? Oh, she's far from being Detective Gumshoe. No way. No way is she close to Gumshoe. Nah. So yeah, it's more like it feels like she is more like Phoenix Wright himself, right? He's more of a lawyer, right? He's more of a lawyer, but he seems to like be earnest when it comes to like uncovering like any mysteries from confessions. Oh wait, hold up. Ah, there we go. That should be the one. Miss Eubanks, Chandra was asked to clean that golf club, was she not? She was, but she clearly never got the chance to do so. But there's an issue here. She did. We found the golf club partially cleaned. She must have been interrupted while cleaning it. Well, I suppose you're correct. It's clear the thief attacked her while she was cleaning. My argument stands firm. I would be so sure, Miss Eubanks. There's a critical flaw in your theory, and I can prove it. Miss Lear couldn't have cleaned the club in the trophy room, and this is why. The cleaner for the golf club is found in Chandra's bedroom, not the trophy room. Alright, here's my favorite, asking about pointless hypotheticals. Could Justina solve the Death Note? I think it's a little too early for her to do that. Once she gets experience, maybe. Maybe, but I would say, like, it will probably take a few years because, you know, we got, like, El, Mello, and Nier having, like, a lot of experience being, like, genius detectives. So, yeah. We gotta wait for a while when it comes to Justina at the very least. That's when she was attacked. Hang on. How do you know she did just wet a rag with a cleaner and take that to the trophy room? Akin to bringing a packet of ketchup instead of an entire bottle. That would be impossible. There's nothing in the trophy room with golf cleaner on it besides the golf club. Then how did the club get downstairs? Why is the cleaner upstairs, but not the club?
If our culprit wanted to make it seem like the trophy room was the real crime scene, they would have need to move the golf club. They brought the club down with Chandra, but since the cleaner was stashed away in her dresser, they likely didn't notice it. Critically, whoever attacked her must not have realized that Chandra hadn't finished cleaning the club. Completely baseless. This is all nothing than just a pet theory. And there's one thing you've overlooked during it. And what would that be? You've yet to explain why Miss Leah would call the police from her bedroom. Allow me to explain. Oh, more interrogation. Alright, here's something more simple. Can she solve the MCI? Good question. Potentially. Maybe. Who knows? Rebuttal. A tea poorly brewed. If Miss Leah was in a room, why exactly would she call the police? If she was in the trophy room, it's likely that she saw the thief returning to the scene of the crime from the window. Therefore, she decided to call the police, fearing the worst. On the other hand, nothing in her room would cause her to call the police. Do we really have to play Miss Eubanks' game? We need an ironclad case. Otherwise, we won't be able to make this stick in court. I have no choice. Time to break the statement. Since she's wrong about the thief, what caused Chandra to call the police? By MCI, I mean missing children that took place in the infamous Freddy Fazbear's Pizza restaurant. Yeah, I think she'll probably solve it, but she gotta be careful with a couple of animatronics. She better not, investigate in the dark or something like that. Let's question. Perhaps she had a change of heart. After all, from what Phi told us, it seems your husband was suspicious of Chandra. She could have feared for her life. My husband was nothing but good to Chandra. She was family. If my husband suspected Chandra's involvement in a robbery, he would have spoken with her civilly. I suppose that wouldn't cause someone to call the police. There has to be something in that room that would have made her afraid. How would the thief even get to her? The window only unlocks from the inside. She could have had the window open. But why not just shut and lock the window if she saw the thief? People don't act rationally when they're afraid. She must have thought the police were her best option. I guess she has a point. And why would she turn her back on the attacker? If she saw her coming, wouldn't she choose to face her? I can't explain her actions, but Detective Swift played us the recording earlier. You could clearly tell from her voice that she didn't know she would be attacked. She's right. I doubt she saw her attacker. But why? What do you mean? She clearly called the police because she saw someone coming. If she was cleaning a golf club, why exactly would she call? Maybe the phone call is unrelated to the attacker. Do I have something to prove that? Let's see. Five is actually hiding at the crime scene during the robbery. She told Oliver about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. Could it be this? I don't think so. Nah, it's not that. For someone representing a chef, your argument is half-baked at best. Excuse me? Do you have an argument to make? Or are you trying to insult me? Well, I was just joking? Tough crowd. Better not try that again. Okay, so therefore she decided to call the police, fearing the worst. On the other hand, nothing in her room would cause her to call the police. Ah, the passport. Chandra's passport, which was found in a small storage space hidden behind her wallpaper. She seemed to have stored other important documents, but something next to it was taken. Yeah, so she probably called the police for the thing that was taken. Honestly, from what we've seen so far, I can see her figuring out the how and the what part of it, but would she be able to find that William did it, and let alone prove it? I mean, with experience, I do believe she can pull it off. We checked her room and there was a missing document from her room. Pray tell, what would that be? Well, we don't know, but it could be important. Do you even know why it's missing? Well, no, but we might know. Might is not enough. You need something more tangible as proof. Ouch. Better try something else. Wait, the fingerprints? It could be the fingerprints, right? Nope. Can't be the fingerprints. Yeah, it has to be this statement, though. Could it be her statement? I don't think so. No. Stop that. Alright, let's think a little bit more. Has to be a reason. Could it be the window? Nope, not the window. So here's a funny lore trivia. William Afton actually got arrested and stood trial, but they had no evidence against him. So he got away with it with no consequences. Ooh. Hey Oliver, do you rock climb in your spare time by chance? My passion is cooking, not something as mundane as rock climbing. Rock climbing is mundane? Get out of here. Hey, rock climbing isn't mundane. Let's bring things back on track. I apologize for my assistant's outburst. Ouch. I'm gonna try something else. I got mercilessly gored by Magala, 10 out of 10. Oh no, you finally faced Gore Magala, dude? Yeah, Gore Magala was an interesting fight in Wilds, to say the least. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best returning fights, but it was fun. I guess Oliver lives in the mountains or something. Maybe. It has to be the fourth statement. Could it be the phone? I don't think so.
We could try. Nope. Not the phone. Alright, no, not this one. Hold on, is this AA? A game inspired by Ace Attorney, yes. It's called Paper Perjury. Can you press in this game? Yes, you can. Let's see. Yeah, I already questioned questioned her several times. The camera? Ah, yeah, it's the camera. Miss Eubanks, were you aware that your husband was spying on Chandra? Huh? Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? Why, that's a slanderous accusation. Detective, rein your little assistant in before she gets herself into trouble. Go on, Miss Assistant. There was a hidden camera in Chandra's bedroom. When we found it, it was broken. It's clear Chandra had found the camera in her room while she was cleaning, and, after breaking it, she decided to call the police. She must have been attacked at that moment while her back was turned. And how do you know my husband put it there? Well, I think my assistant got a little too eager there. Someone certainly put a camera there, and Chandra did break it. But officially, we have no means to trace who put it there. I'm glad that's settled. As for the camera itself, what makes you think she found it today? What if she found it on a different day? Simple. That's because Chandra would have reported it. The camera had cleaner on it. Mr. Eubanks would have a replacement. The camera had cleaner on it. We found some fresh golf cleaner on the camera, the same that we found in her room. She must have had some on her hands when she discovered the camera. If she found the camera any other time, it would have dried up by now. It's clear now that you're going to cling onto this pet theory of yours. But all this time, you failed to consider that Chandra was not found in her bedroom. Her body was found in an entire floor below. Bodies don't teleport, and my client couldn't have possibly moved her. And why is that? I'll let my client explain. Right. Here goes. Oh my god, even the onion is sweating. Excuse me? When does onion sweat? Oh my god. Alright. More grounded Ace Attorney, they said. More grounded than Ace Attorney. Alright. Sweaty onion. I was about to say that. Yeah. I just noticed he's just sweating and the onion is also sweating. Onion sweating is a visual pun. I hate it here. Oh my god. Alright. Sweating onions. Oliver Curry's statement. Second course. An impossible escape. Even if I attacked Chandra, the only exit to the room was the door. Miss Eubanks saw me leave the room. He wouldn't have noticed me carrying her body. If Mr. Eubanks was in Chandra's room the whole time, he would have found her. That's why I couldn't have attacked her. Because the act of caramelizing an onion is called sweating an onion. Really? I'm not joking. This is actually the first time I hear of this. Caramelizing onions is basically sweating an onion. Wow. All right. All right, that is actually more clever than I thought it would be. Good on you, Paper Perjury devs. Yeah, I also realized that it mentioned, like, course. It makes sense because, you know, he's the chef. It takes a cook to know one. Well, not surprised. You have been cooking some stuff. Chandra was in the room with Oliver. Isn't that enough proof? The body was found on the floor below, so there is still room for doubt. No judge would ever accept a guilty charge without more evidence. How about a pro-police judge who could stack the deck in our favor? Don't be silly. Judges are picked randomly. They don't just have one judge to handle every case we come across. So much for doing things the easy way. Okay, time to question each statement. Miss Assistant, when you went up there, did you find any hidden doors? Nope. There's only one door in the whole room. Oliver would have had to enter through there. There, Mr. Eubanks had to have entered the same door. So if the body was moved out of the room, it couldn't be through the door. Did you say anything to him? I told him that Chandra wasn't in her room. And did he say anything to you? Not much. Just that he was looking for something. It must have been where he searched her files. But it seems unrelated to the attack. What if you hit the body in something first? Anything is big enough to hide a body in. My husband would have noticed. And if I had anything like that, he would have mentioned it. Well, he did lie to us. Twice. But he'd have no reason not to mention that. You could have hidden the body somewhere in that room. That's why he didn't find it. Then you just moved the body after he left. It didn't take long for the police to arrive. My client wouldn't have had the time to move a body by then. Maybe so. Let's move on. Well, even if we don't know how you moved the body, you could have still attacked her. If that's your argument, I'll enjoy ripping it apart in court. Focus, Miss Assistant. There's a flaw here somewhere, and we can't make this case stick unless we find it. Could at least do a better job of helping me find it. The only exit to the room was the door. Maybe through the window? Ah! Actually, Mr. Curry, there is another exit. The window. The window? You think I threw her out the window and she landed in the room below? You wanted another exit. The window is an exit. If that's your angle, then you really are desperate. It should be obvious why the window couldn't have been used, but allow me to explain it for you. Rebuttal. Out of the window. It's simply impossible that Miss Leah was moved through the window. A fall from that height would have left noticeable injuries. However, the only injury she had was a head wound. Unless you have some way for a body to move down a story without getting injured, your theory is moot. Hey, detective, any ideas? Well, it's possible a ghost did it. Don't even joke about ghosts. knows what they're capable of? Don't tell me you believe in those campfire stories. This is slander. I did not do it. Yeah, because you're a spooky, ghastly ghost. Yeah, ghost couldn't have done that. The body must have been lowered from the window somehow. You just need to think outside the box a bit. Many ghosts are reading my mind. Please haunt Detective Hunt, and not me. Ah, they could have used the bench sheet. That's why it was hidden in the trophy room. This should be the right one. Yes! Actually, there was a way she could have moved through the window unharmed. We found a bench sheet stuffed away in the trophy room. The sheet itself was covered in dirt, meaning it likely touched the ground outside. After attacking Chandra, Oliver wrapped her and the golf club in the sheet and simply lowered them to the floor below. Hold on! That sheet could have always been there. How do you know it came from Chandra's room? That's easy. This is how we know where the sheet came from. From her bed. When we investigated Chandra's room, we found that her bed had been stripped of its sheet. We never found that sheet anywhere, because it was stuffed in the trophy room the whole time. You can't be serious. I am serious. Just look at him. Oliver is clearly strong enough to have lowered Chandra with the sheet. It's the only way her body could have moved. I believe that's all we need to prove that Oliver is the culprit. Enough! Why are you so determined on pinning this crime on me? This whole time, you haven't even considered that your whole case is missing a key ingredient, a motive. Chandra was not only my coworker, but a friend. We were very close, her and I. Why would I attack Chandra? I have no reason to. Unless you can provide a motive, you've got no grounds to charge me. Motive, huh? I guess I haven't considered that. Something made Oliver want to attack Chandra. This is it, Justina. Time to drive the nail into his coffin. You want motive? I got your motive. Yeah. Jealous of Chandra? No, there is no reason for him to be jealous of her. You wanted the stolen money? I don't think so. You have no motive? No, there's definitely is a motive. But, you know, I did mention earlier on the stream that both Owen and his wife probably pressured Oliver not to speak unless he loses his job. So I would say you wanted to protect your job. It's clear to me, Mr. Curry, that you cared about your job a lot. You made that point abundantly clear when we questioned you earlier. I think you never wanted to attack Chandra, but something happened that left you no choice. Bai told us that she spoke to you about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. I think you went to talk to her about it when you noticed her calling the police. You attacked her in the heat of the moment. Answer me one question. What was the weapon? The weapon? We never found the weapon. As I suspected, you never did recover it. The culprit must have taken the weapon with them. If my client was the culprit, he would have surely found the weapon somewhere. He must have hidden it somewhere. I tried calling Detective Swift. They can't find anything there. Then I demand to be released immediately. What do you mean never found the weapon? It seems like they couldn't. Clearly, he killed her with the onions. Wait. She isn't actually dead. She's just in a coma. If she was dead, then he would have, like, been in hella trouble. Without a weapon, you have nothing! Let me make this perfectly clear. Alright? Oliver Curry's statement. Final course. A recipe for failure. If the weapon isn't in the house, it must have been taken. But nobody has left the estate other than the police. There's no way I could have taken a weapon out of the house. I'm not carrying any weapons. Well, that pan right there sure looks like a weapon. You can use it as a weapon. You have nothing on me. Detective, what do we do? I don't know. Our whole case is based on circumstantial evidence. Not anything solid. There's no jury in the world that would convict him. Where could the weapon be? Detective Swift said it was a flat, blunt object. Is there anything like that he could have used? Well, still, if Oliver attacked her, he's going to still be hit by the assault charge. Yes, exactly. No questions, no doubts about it. Let's see. The phone, right? Oh, no. This is your weapon right here. If you think that's anything, then you're more desperate than I thought. Stop wasting our time and admit you have nothing. Just not playing around. I'll try again. Let's see, which one? Ah, the pen! Oh, you have a pen, my friend. There's one place none of us have looked. On Oliver himself. According to Detective Swift, the weapon was a flat, blunt object. Just like the frying pan he has now. The same frying pan he arrived at the crime scene with. That's why nobody has found the weapon. Nobody thought to check Sherry. Oliver, we need to test your pan for blood. But why? Just look at it. No blood in sight. You may have washed the blood off, but the traces can be found with the right tools. Of course, if you're innocent, we wouldn't find anything. Right? This is your last chance to confess, Oliver. Once we test that pan, it's over for you. Oliver, please tell me that they're wrong. No, no, no! I can't. Oh. Wow, his hat exploded. Oliver, how could you? I'm sorry, Ferris. I never intended for any of this to happen. But why? Chandra's family, Oliver. Fi told me she was hiding in the trophy room when the robbery happened. She told me Chandra was taking money from the safe. I confronted Chandra, and she told me that the money wasn't adding up. She said she was going to expose the Eubanks one way or another. I tried to convince her to change her mind, but she wouldn't listen to me. Then, at breakfast this morning, Owen kept pressuring her. I knew she was afraid. She told me before that she was considering calling the police and confessing to what she did. I went to go talk to her privately about it. When I entered her room, I heard her on the phone. She was about to confess. I couldn't let her do it. I didn't know what else to do. This job, it meant everything to me. After being rejected everywhere else, I had a real job. If you and Owen were arrested, I would lose the best job I ever had. I couldn't go back to my family. I wasn't thinking. Before I knew it, she was on the floor. I had no choice but to frame the thief. I thought that Chandra would be safe.
I took up your defense because I believed in you. I thought you were truly innocent. I trusted you.
I'm so sorry, Ferris. Not the Oliver's hat. So sad it died, yep. Well, so is his career. His career is over.
After getting his formal confession, Detective Hunt escorted Oliver away. Mrs. Smith? Before I go, I thought I should apologize for how I acted there. I should be thanking you.
Thank me? I thought you would hate me.
As painful as it is, if you didn't step in, the wrong person would have been charged for Oliver's crime. Which isn't easy, but at least some good came from all of this.
There's one more mystery hanging around this case. Okay, to be fair, Oliver took it pretty well, yeah. And Ferris actually... I would have thought, like, Ferris would try to cover the issue up, but it seems she doesn't know what her husband is doing.
It seems that everyone believes that your husband is embezzling money from the charity.
When we spoke to him earlier today,
he denied it, but he was clearly spying on Chandra, and he took something from her room.
Is it possible that he stole evidence from her room?
Of course not. We've run our business together for years. He would never do that. We even publicly agreed to pay the stolen half out of our pocket. Isn't that proof enough?
I take it as proof. I really do.
But it's Detective Hunt you have to convince. Seems I misjudged you. If you want to accuse my husband, at least be upfront about it. I'm not accusing him. I still think he's innocent. It's just, all of this isn't really adding up. I'm going to make sure the police handle my former friend fairly. This conversation is over. Might have stepped on a landmine.
Well, she looks pissed. You alright, Justy?
I could be better. I keep thinking about where the money went.
There must be more to this. There definitely is.
I might have pushed her too far.
Did you just get back?
Yep. I had it back here as soon as I could. In any case, let me be the first to say, congrats! You did it! You solved the case. I'm so proud of you and Red. It wasn't just us. Your work helped too. You were the key to connecting Owen to the scene. Without that, we could have never known about Oliver's involvement. That's not traffic cop work. That's grade A detective work. I thank you, Justy. That means a lot. Hey, tell you what. Why don't you tag along with me for drinks later? Can have a proper celebration then. Oh, yeah, sure. Great. Zephyr and I will be waiting when your shift's over. For that, though, I think there's one person we've forgotten about. Wait in an interrogation room. I gotta go grab Red and the guest of honor. I have a feeling I know who she means. April 16th, 4:48 p.m., Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, interrogation room.
Now that we're all here, I want to give you the news. Miss Yor, you're no longer being charged with assault.
What about Chandra?
She's still recovering from her injuries, but she was woken up. We expect her to be able to talk to her tomorrow. Now, of course, the robbery charge isn't being dropped. Both of you will still have to answer for that crime.
I expected that, but still, thank you for finding out who attacked her. I'm truly thankful. I take back what I said earlier. You aren't evil.
If you continue to cooperate with our investigation, I'll see if the district attorney can provide you some leniency.
Wait, what investigation? Isn't it over?
Not yet, Miss Assistant. We still have those embezzlement claims to look into. Sue spoke with the chief. Apparently, they both agreed to let you continue to be my assistant. If you work with me again, we can finally uncover the truth behind everything.
Not to believe Miss Eubanks. Embezzlement is unnecessary for someone as wealthy as Mr. Eubanks. Yet, until I see the answer myself, I can't take her word for it. I'm in.
Then let's go back to our desks. We've got a lot of work to get done.
Spent the rest of the day doing my actual job, paperwork. I didn't see much of Detective Hunt. Miss Earl told me that once the chief found out what happened to Mr. Eubanks, he got the biggest dressing down of his career. In the end, the fact that we still solved the case is what saved him from demotion, or worse. Today was a day that truly changed my life. I don't know what's in store for me in the future, but I know, whatever it is, it'll be far more eventful than I could have imagined.
April 16th. Unknown. Office. Hello, sir. Did you need something? Lowell, my boy. I'm glad you came. Some information has come onto my desk that I need you to look into. BG Turtles LLC. I want you to get everything you can find on this company. Yes, sir. Right away. This would go on so much smoother without the police snooping around. End of case 2. Alright, let's go to case 3. Yeah, Owen. I think Owen is going to be pretty much the big bad for the entire game. Extremely trustworthy. I trust Owen with my life. Yes. Let's actually trust the billionaire. Surely that has worked out throughout the course of history. March, time unknown. Azure City Police Precinct number 5. Station offices. Please, I need just a little more time.
I'm sorry, but this isn't up for debate. The chief says it's closed. It's closed. But it's been long enough. We need you working elsewhere. Have the finished case report on my desk by the end of the day.
Yes, ma'am. April 24th, 8 a.m. Azure City Police Precinct number 5, Station Lobby. So, it's only my second week at this job. I already feel like I've aged 10 years. How did so much paperwork pile up so quickly? When I die, I hope I'm reborn into a paperwork-free life. Oh. Isekai time, huh? Who's question? It's a mystery to me and you, my friend. Are you monologuing to yourself again? Miss Earl, I'm ready for the new day. That's the spirit. I wanted to tell you, Chandra was finally released from the hospital. She's waiting in the interrogation room. As much as I would love to have you do the job you were actually hired for, this is more important.
Everyone else is already waiting, so get going. Yes, ma'am. April 24th, 8:07 a.m. Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, interrogation room. Who the heck is this? This is her boss, Sue. She was there since the beginning. She is her boss. She is responsible for all the clerks in order to do their paperwork and job on her computer. Oh no. Oh my god, what a horrible name that I see here. Welcome to our little get-together, Miss Assistant. Chandra, this is Justina Smith, my assistant for this investigation. Nice to meet you, Miss Smith. Miss, you already confessed to your involvement in a robbery, so we can skip over that. However, she also claimed that you believed the Eubanks were siphoning off money from the charity fund. Do you have any evidence for this alleged embezzlement? I do. I keep all my records in my room, behind the wallpaper. Unfortunately, we already checked there. All we found there was your passport and some unrelated documents. That's impossible. Someone must have taken it. We may have reason to believe that Mr. Eubank may have taken something from your room. If he had proof, that's likely what he took. This is slanderous. You have no proof for any of those claims. It's clear she had never had any evidence of this supposed embezzlement. You dropped this while you're ahead, detective. We're perfectly within our bounds to investigate these claims. If you intend to interfere, you can exit the room. Nothing more to say? Good. Chandra, we'll need to get to your official statement on these matters. I'll tell you everything I know. I kept track of the donors to the Klaus charity, as well as the accounting. After doing the math, roughly 25,000 alms were missing from the charity money. That money was redirected to a shell company called BG Turtles LLC. We didn't grab the media's attention and have gone completely unnoticed. Chandra claims that roughly 25,000 alms were transferred from the charity fund to a shell corporation, BG Turtles LLC. The proof of the embezzlement has gone missing. Do you know why the money was missing? No, but I couldn't find any legitimate reason for the money to have transferred like that. I hope you realize, without any evidence, all we have here is your testimony. And your testimony doesn't exactly give us much to work off of. Nevertheless, we intend to investigate these claims. You can't be serious. She's already proven to herself to be unreliable, and you're going to take her word on the matter? I'm going to find out the truth behind this, Miss Eubank. Surely you have no problem with that. With that, I believe we can conclude this little meeting. Then I'll be leaving. Chandra. I'm afraid to say that, as of now, you're officially terminated from your job. I know you've been through a lot, but we have no other choice. You can collect your things when this is over. Wait! She stormed off in a hurry. Aww. She's crying. I can't say I expected anything else. Embezzlement or not, I still committed a crime. I suppose I deserve this. If it means anything, I promise we will see this through to the end. We should go, Justina. I hate to just leave, but it's best we get going. Please tell me leaving the interrogation room with a sense of guilt isn't normal. You should only feel guilty if you've done something wrong. We have nothing to be ashamed of. So we'll look after Chandra for now.
We have a case to solve.
We barely have anything to go on. How do we even investigate this?
If we couldn't find anything at the Eubanks estate, that means the next best place to look would be the orphanage itself.
But if the orphanage was involved, doesn't that mean it's possible there is no embezzlement? Mr. Eubanks could have been holding onto the money for safekeeping.
We'll have to keep an open mind. Either way, the orphanage should contain all the answers we need. So, are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Hold on just a minute, you two.
Miss Earl? What is it? If you're going to the orphanage, you better take a look at this first. How did you...
She knows everything that goes on in this station. What do you have for us?
Do you remember that vandalized car report from last month?
Of course I remember.
That's a face of pure guilt if I've ever seen one. On March 14th, the orphanage director was involved in a crash after the brakes on his car failed.
All right, that case. Wasn't Sophie assigned to that?
She was. The landlady reported that the brakes in Bill's car were vandalized by an unknown person. However, she never found the culprit. The director ended up asking for the charges to be dropped after we failed to turn anything up. Why didn't you help, Detective?
Should have promoted earlier that month. It was her first big case, and I wanted to solve it on her own. Otherwise, she'd just think that it was all me.
I see. Poor Sophie. The case might be closed, but it's a good reason to reach out to Bill. I'd suggest you keep the embezzlement to yourself until you can figure out what they know. Detective Swift and I will see what we can dig up on BG Turtles in the meantime. Shouldn't she be joining us? The car crash was her case. That's why she can't. The case is closed. You're not there to solve it. It's your cover. Still, do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am. Here's the case report. It should get you up to speed on things.
Thanks for digging this up for us.
All I did was find the file. Anyone asks you, you asked me to find it for you. Oh, and Justina, when you solve this case, take it easy on the drinking. I know what you and Sophie get up to after these cases. How did you... Oh, forget it.
That's Sue for you. Now, let's get going.
It's impossible to keep anything a secret around here. Not with her around.
Alright, time to go to the orphanage. Also, don't forget to stretch and hydrate. Very, very important.
April 24th, 8:30 a.m.
Klaus Orphanage, parking lot.
I thought we were going to the orphanage. This looks like a motel.
It used to be. Eubanks Investments helped convert this old motel into an orphanage a few years ago. At the time, it was the orphanage's only choice, so they took it.
Sure do know a lot about this place.
Director and I go way back. I met him back in high school. But we can talk about that later. Let's head on over to his office.
I'm still thinking about Chandra. Watching her get fired like that, it was rough.
Well, I certainly don't hold much respect for the Eubanks. But you can tell Miss Eubanks didn't want to do that. you were in their shoes, would you fire her? No, I wouldn't. I would give her a second chance. What about you? I think I'd have to. She broke their trust. Justified or not, you can't really recover from that. Well, all we could really do is solve this case to ensure her firing wasn't in vain. Yeah, we'll do it for Chandra. Let's check the motel. I've gotta say, this is a bit of a dreary looking building. Not that my apartment building is much better. It may not look like much, but to the kids here, it's home. It's an older building, but they keep it in a good shape. I'm surprised it's still here. Land it's on is probably worth a good amount. Maybe so, but I'd rather see it for something good, like an orphanage, rather than some luxury condo. Got a good point. The city has already seen enough gentrification. There's some pretty yellow flowers over here. It's nice to see them green around amongst all this concrete. Let's see. Looks like there's a sign with it. May all who live here grow as strong and beautiful as these poppy flowers. These flowers were put here by Miss Eubanks. Glad to see them still there. It sounds like Miss Eubanks, that's for sure. You know, we could have parked closer. This lot is pretty empty. I don't want any children to see a police car pull up and think there was trouble. So I always park further away when I visit. Why would they think that? If a child runs away, the police are called. When a child needs protection from a bad household, the police are called. The last thing I want these kids worrying about is Bill getting in trouble. Personally, I feel like these things should be left up to social services, not us. Let the specialists handle cases involving children. It's what they're trained for. I never considered any of that. Here I was only thinking about walking less. Looks like a garage. I don't think I ever seen a motel with a garage. The original owners of the place used to live here, so that's where they stored their vehicles. Now it's used for maintenance. I wonder what's inside. There's not much to see. Maybe we'll swing by there later. Alright, let's go to somewhere else. Let's go to the director's office. April 24th, 8:38 a.m. Klaus's orphanage. Director's office. Hello? Anyone home? Ernest, what are you doing here? Bill, good to see you. Let me introduce you to my assistant. Justina, this is Bill Klaus, director of the Klaus Orphanage. Bill, this is Justina, the newest member at the precinct. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on joining the force. Thanks. Do I seriously look like a police officer? Back on topic. Why are you here? Can an old friend just say hi? You never come here just to say hi, Ernest. What do you want? You got me. I'm here about the accident last month. Not this again. Look, Ernest, I already told the police to drop it. It's water under the bridge now. I'm not here as a police officer, but as a friend. Someone almost killed you. I'm not letting them get off scot-free. Kind of impressed on how he can lie about the real reason. And why wait a month? He saw right through it. This isn't really my jurisdiction. I'm not supposed to be investigating this. I guess you could say that I finally entered my loose cannon cop phase. Loose cannon cop phase? If I acted too quickly, the chief would throw the book at me. But he's likely forgotten about this case by now. Fine, whatever, I believe you. I really don't have much to say about that matter, but I'll tell you what I told the last detective. I had just gotten out of a meeting with the landlady when I headed out for my car. Meg was just fixing it up for me. I didn't see her around, so I figured she was done. I had barely left the parking lot before the brakes failed, and I crashed. Thankfully, I was driving slowly, so I wasn't hurt that badly. Can't say the same for my car, though. I haven't been able to drive it since. On the day of the accident, Bill left a meeting with the landlady when the brakes in his car failed. As he was driving slowly, he was uninjured. He should be injured. Meg? You mean your Meg was working on it? Yep. All those years working with the landlady is paying off. Who's Meg? When Bill sets this whole place up, she was one of the first kids here. I never thought I'd see her all grown up. You know, she still doesn't want to go to college. She just wants to work in some mechanic shop. I keep telling her that. She's capable of more, but she won't listen. Let her live before she becomes old and crusty like us. Speak for yourself. I'm still strong as an ox. You could be too if you ever joined me at the gym. If the gym ever gets robbed, I'll be right there right away. As a detective, until then, a detective's job is never done. Right, always with the excuses, Ernest. Well, since you're here, I suppose you can stay for a while. It's not much, but it is home. Let's talk to him for a bit. Let's review the statement. Should listen to his statement again. I had just gotten out of a meeting with the landlady when I headed out from my car. So which one are we gonna go for? Just gotten out of a meeting with the landlady. I headed out for his car, fixing it up for me. I didn't see her around, so I figured she was done. Barry left the parking lot before the brakes failed and I crashed. I thought I was driving slowly, so I wasn't hurt badly. Can't say the same for my car though. Yeah. Need to actually think of a little bit. Dang it. I'm trying to figure out something. Which one should I actually dispute? So which one? Hmm. 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 Man. Hmm. Okay, he wasn't uninjured. Hmm. I just want to ask, why open an orphanage in a motel? It's so unusual. It is, but this is an important question. It's within walking distance of both the Whitehall Academy and the Church of the First Lotus. Providing a good academic and spiritual education took priority over everything else. Whitehall Academy? It's a pretty prestigious school, the best one in the city. It admits all grades. Plus, it's free for anyone who passes the rigorous entrance exam. And all the children here go there? Yep, I created this orphanage specifically for children who could attend Whitehall. When I met brilliant children like Megan, I wanted to prove that opportunity for them. Any child with the aptitude could come and stay here. Why set up an orphanage just to be close to a school? Can't the kids just live wherever and still go to Whitehall? In theory, yes. In practice, no. Before coming here, some of the kids lived over an hour away, excluding traffic. But time adds up, and most would rather go to a closer school. To them, school to school, each one the same. But it's not. What you learn impacts. What you learn, where you learn, impacts your whole life. Speaking from experience, he lived outside the city, but still showed up early every day. It was like he slept in the school. Every single day. Hey, I still got perfect attendance. But if anyone knows the importance of a short commute, it'd be him. May seem small, but for these kids, it gives them the time I wish I had. In any case, this was the only place I could get it, so I buckled down and got it. Might have seemed crazy at first, but we made it work. The landlady could give you more details. She's in her office today. She's in a meeting right now, but knowing you won't let that stop you. When you want to know, when you want to head there, Miss Assistant, let me know. Why are you so against Meg being a mechanic? It sounds to me like she found her passion in life. She's capable of doing so much more. Her grades can prove it. She could attend the best college in the city. But instead, she just wants to work on cars all day. She only found her passion because of this chance you gave her. Isn't that a success? You know, my parents were pretty adamant that I go to art school when I graduated. They're both artists, so it made sense for them. They thought I had a lot of potential for it. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I did it. I like art, and I learned a lot, but ultimately, it wasn't for me. And now all I have to show for it is a degree I'll never use. My actual job is the furthest thing from art you can get. Time she could be spending pursuing her true dream. I suppose you have a point. I'll give it some thought. Why did you ask the police to drop the case? Don't you want us to catch the person who caused it? To tell you the truth, I already know who did it. You do? I thought... Bill, if Swift says the kid didn't do it, he didn't do it. Hold on. What kid? There's some kid from the area. He went to school with Meg and graduated last year. The rumor went around about the crash. He took credit for the thing. You're only saying this now? Why wouldn't you want him arrested? Detective Swift had already looked into him. He's nothing more than a graffiti artist. He says he did it. He did it. But nevertheless, a lot of employers turn people down for a criminal record, no matter how small. I don't want to ruin the kid's life. If he didn't actually do it, then why take credit for it? How about we find out? Sophie wrote down where he hangs out. Let's go pay him a visit. Okay. I didn't know so many kids were capable of going to such a fancy school. I certainly couldn't. My childhood was spent struggling for a passing grade. There's a lot of children that, because of their circumstances, can't live up to their true potential. Orphan children, in particular, are pretty vulnerable to being ignored by the system. People don't think much about education for these kids. They think all they need to do is wait until they're adopted, thinking little about what happens if they aren't. That's why I fight against being a traditional orphanage. I want to break that stereotype. They all deserve a bright future, and I intend to give it to them. Now I feel bad for the kids who couldn't make it. They're not alone, but Whitehall thankfully offers tests for all grades year-round. So if they fail once, they can try again next time. The Klaus orphanage might seem strange, but there's a few places with such lofty goals. I hope so too. No wonder he was upset about the robbery. This place means so much to him. I forgot Church of the Fifth Lotus was near here. My parents often used to take me there when I was younger. Getting the kids to attend is the hardest part. Most of them try to avoid coming if they can. I say let them choose if they want to or not. You're wasting your time if you force them. Are you not religious, sir? Religion and I don't get along. I respect Arrow faithful, but you won't see me step inside a church willingly. The gods can't afford to having one less faithful among us. You shouldn't say that. Your next life might be as a flower or a bee if you're not careful. Ernest never joined us at the church when we were younger. Even if he starts now, the best he'll get is a fish. I'll take my chances. Just promise that if you see a handsome fish in your next life, you won't eat it. Okay. So I guess we'll investigate. Excuse the mess. Haven't had time to tidy things up.
It's like a teenager's bedroom.
We could help you to clean up. No. I'll get to it later. So, never?
God damn.
God damn. Chill, Hunt. No comment. Let's see. Looks like the orphanage's ledger. Expenses for last month were 15,000 alms, and he paid them all on time. My dad could learn a thing or two about record keeping. Better write this down before I get caught snooping. This painting looks familiar. Oh, Chandra had the same painting in her room. Hey, Bill, where'd you get this? It was a gift from the Eubanks. It had some cheesy line attached to it. With hard work and diligence, anyone can soar to great heights. Priceless coming from a family born with wealth. It's like someone stuffed with food wondering how could anyone go hungry. Tone deaf as it may seem, it's inspiring for the kids. I, for one, would like to think that we can live in a world where that is true. Yes, that explains why it's mass-produced. Maybe Chandra keeps the painting in her room for the same reason. That's a nice-looking TV. It was part of the motel before we moved in. There's one just like it in every room. Must be tough getting the kids to focus on homework with all those TVs around. That's what I thought. But all that's on them is public access in the news. Turns out the landlady's family never paid for more than 2 of the basic cable packages. Now I feel bad for them. Got a lot of sticky notes here. They're called sticky notes for a reason. He's been stuck to them for his entire life. It's a small price to pay in order to keep track of everything. You got receipts here from last month. Talk about organized. I don't remember the last time I kept a receipt for something. Whenever Meg and I order anything, I keep the receipts for at least 3 months. Looks like she ordered brakes at 1:15 p.m. on the day of the accident. I better write that down. Car brakes receipt. Any trash on the floor. Even my teenage room was cleaner than this. Wait, what's this? Red line insurance? Just throw it in the trash can. It's worthless. Isn't insurance important? It's who I get my car insurance from. They refused my claim for repairs after the crash. Why? It's not your fault. Keep telling them that. They used every trick in the book to make it seem like I was irresponsible. So I gave up. I have kids to take care of and other life obligations. I don't have time to fight a claim like this. But you shouldn't give up. It's your car. Fortunately, that's how they get you. Wear you down until it's too much of a hassle to keep going. These people at Redline might as well be running an organized crime ring. Doesn't matter anyways. I was able to get the money together to repair the car myself. Feel bad for Bill. I hope we can settle this. should keep a note of this letter. Insurance letter. Let's check the chair. Hey, it's a spinny chair. I have some in the office, but this one looks way more cozy. If you have to sit on a chair all day, you need something good to support your back. This was the best investment in my life. Hey, detective, you think Sue could get us these chairs? I think that would require you to stay at your desk for more than an hour. Well, it was worth a shot. Can we go to the landlady's office? April 24th, Klaus Orphanage, landlady's office. This is quite the office. Ah, it's you two again. Ferris? What are you doing here? My husband and I wanted to make sure our relationship with the Klaus Orphanage remains intact. We are not going to stand around while you drag our company's name through the mud. You could say that they want to make your company disappear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wondrous office of the world's greatest illusionist, Maggie Shawn. Hang on, your office? You're the landlady? She's not at all what I expected. Well, she's a fancy dressed landlady, that's for sure. Sure am. Now, pick a card. I hate to ruin the magic, but her real name is Annie Codd. Her parents owned the motel before the orphanage was set up. Ferris? I told you to call me by my stage name. I spent a whole night coming up with it. It's nice to meet you. Maggie Shawn, world's greatest illusionist. I'm Justina Smith, world's greatest police clerk. Aha, I knew you were a cop. My magical intuition told me so. Police clerk, is it? My magical intuition also says you're here to talk about some kind of embezzlement claim. Impressive. Your magical intuition is right yet again. Maggie? On second thought, Annie is fine for now. Right. As I was saying, I told Annie about it. If there's any bad apples here, she would know.
In that case, what can you tell us about the charity? Well, I can give you the basic rundown.
Ooh, statement time.
Eubanks Investments raises money for the orphanage each year in accordance with the national charity standards. Any money raised by the Klaus charity can only be used directly for the orphanage. Each year, an audit takes place to ensure money is properly handled. Over the past 5 years, we've raised money we haven't failed a single audit.
You lawyers sure know how to say very little with a lot of words.
Anything more would be against the interests of Eubanks Investments.
Say, Annie, have you ever heard of BG Turtles?
If you pick a card, I'll tell you. We know nothing about that, I assure you.
Stop ruining my tricks!
Oh well, it was worth asking.
Since we're here, do you mind if we ask you about the car crash last month?
Oh, that? I thought Bill decided to drop it.
We're here to investigate that matter as well.
Seems like a waste of time, but whatever. What do you like to know?
Can you tell us where you were before the crash?
Sure thing. I had a meeting with Bill around 1:30 p.m. I had a meeting with Bill around 1:30 p.m. that day.
We took a break about 10 minutes later, and I showed off one of my tricks. We finished up at around 1:50 p.m., and that's when Bill headed out. I saw someone running away from the building around then, but I couldn't make it out who it was. Then, moments later, like magic, boom! Bill crashed on his car.
There's card's statement.
Thank you, Annie. Do you mind if we look around for a bit?
Excuse you, but we're in a meeting right now.
Perfect. You keep talking while we look around.
I don't mind. I got nothing to hide. Just don't go around trying to figure out my magic secrets. A magician never reveals those. Hmm. It must be different with Oliver and Chandra gone. Our home is shaken, but we are recovering. We've already started the search for their replacements. We plan to interview them tomorrow. I see. How are Phi? Must be quite the adjustment for her. You have no business to be discussing my daughter. Is she still upset with me? Do you happen to have proof of that? That kind of information is on a need-to-know basis. You need to pass a background check in. Yeah, I can tell you that he always paid his rent on time. Always from the orphanage's account, never a penny short. Here, I can show you. Annie! You don't just give information to anyone like that. I'm just trying to help. Don't listen to her. Your help is appreciated. Well, it certainly does make our lives easier. This is the sort of thing Ferris wants to hide from us. It has to be important. Better write it down. According to Annie, all of the orphanage's rent payments in the past month were paid on time from the orphanage's account. All right? All right, let's check the room. Looks like a box of videotapes. That's where I store the recordings of different magic tricks. I like to watch famous magicians perform tricks so I can study how they do it. It's like playing detective, watching the video over and over until I figure it out. Watching a video again and again sounds like the worst type of detective work. Magic is all about misdirection. It's really easy to make people focus on one hand while you do something else with the other. Once you spot the sleight of hand, you feel like a genius. Detective Hunt ever makes me do this, I'm going back to management. What's in all these boxes? Oh, those? Those are just some car parts I'm saving for Meg. Her birthday's coming up, so I got her some parts to upgrade her ride. Aren't car parts a bit of a strange gift? Not to Meg. Her car means everything to her. She got an old rust bucket of a car for free, and she turned it into her biggest project yet. Over the years, she managed to completely rebuild it. It went from not running at all to running better than my own car.
God damn. Imagine the dedication. She was finally able to drive it for the first time about 2 weeks ago. There's nothing I could get her that she'd like more. Speaking of Meg, is she here today? Yeah, she's still working on Bill's car. Just what do you mean? She's been fixing it up her free time since the accident. She's still missing some parts that Bill has to order. She's been working on everything else in the meantime. If you want to see her, she's in the garage. Sure, I would love to meet her. To write that down, what she said. About the props. I remember these magic tricks. I saw them all the time as a kid. They're pretty simple, but the kids love them. It never hurts to practice the basics. Want to see one? Maybe after we finish this case. What a quaint little window. Whose car is that? That will be mine. That's yours? But it's so modest. I figured you'd drive around some kind of expensive sports car or a 5-mile-long limo. Do you think I also swim in a pool of gold in my free time? Well, never mind. Well, whatever. I'll write this down anyways. Looks like a box of videotapes? That's where I stole the recordings of different magic tricks. I like to watch famous magicians perform tricks so I can study how they do it. It's like playing detective, watching the video over and over until I figure it out. Oh, we already read that one. I see you're interested in my magic box. It's part of a grand trick I'm unveiling in my next show. What kind of trick? If you take a card, I might say. The artist starts off with his hands free, but suddenly they're tied up. She then steps inside while tied up in a rope and walks out completely free. What? I want to see. Stop spoiling the fun. That's the last time I show you a trick ahead of time. Don't blame me, blame yourself. I get to see the trick. Still, you must be pretty excited about that show. I am. It's always been my dream to go on tour with my magic. Oh, but... this is a local show. With all my responsibilities here at the orphanage, I can't really up and leave when I want to. So I consider the show like a practice run. Let's see. You want to know by looking at it, there seems to be some wheels hidden underneath it. I could move it around perfectly, pretty easily like this. Looks like the back of the cabinet is loose. I think she could get through here. What are you doing? You're ruining the magic. The detective can't leave any stone unturned, Miss Assistant. Oh well, too late now. Might as well add it to the evidence. let's check the cards. So, what sort of tricks do you use these cards for? There's a special one I would like to play with the kids. We play poker, and I make their lunch money disappear. You gamble with kids? Only kidding. We just play every Friday for fun. No money involved. It's the one day of the week they'll get to learn some real-life skills. After all, if you know how to read a face, you can take on the world. That's a unique life skill. Okay, we should probably go to the garage. Should get more evidence here before I go to the garage. Okay. So tell me, what got you into magic? Poker, of course. Poker? Yeah. I used to play with my family back in the day. Once they left, I didn't have anyone to play with till the kids came. So, I taught them all how to play one night, and now it's a tradition. And one night, I decided to show them a card trick my dad taught me. And it was a hit. They kept begging me to show them more tricks, so I learned more. That's how I fell in love with the art, the stage, and magic. And stage magic was the natural evolution. She's a natural. I got to see one of her tricks with Bill once, and she blew my socks off. So what kind of magic do you do? I do plenty, but sleight of hand is my favorite. Here for a demonstration? I don't know. The card trick seems to be a bit too childish. Ooh! What a burn! Hey! A little work goes into those tricks, you know. Relax, Annie. You can't please everyone. Sorry. I didn't really mean anything against you by it. I just don't really get it personally. Alright, before we continue, let me actually stretch for a bit. Alright, let's keep going, shall we? Okay, let's talk about Bill Klaus. What's your relationship with Bill like? In a professional sense, he's a great tenant. I never had any problems with him. He always paid the rent on time, and he covers the maintenance. In return, his rent is dirt cheap. You won't find him a better deal anywhere in the city. Lucky Bill, my landlord just raised my rent again. In a personal sense, I'd consider him a good friend. He always runs by his plans for the orphanage with me, and I show him my latest tricks. Plus, having him around means I get to play with the kids. If it wasn't for Bill, I would have sold this place off a long time ago. Sounds like they have a pretty good relationship. I heard Bill's side of it, but why rent this motel to an orphanage? It's pretty simple, really. My family left me in charge of this place around 7 years ago. We all knew it wasn't going to last. Nobody really wanted a cheap room in this city anymore. Then land prices went up, and property tax along with it. I just couldn't afford to keep this place any longer. So after 2 years, I was desperately looking for a way out. That's when I met Bill. Bill came to Eubanks Investments looking for property for an orphanage. However, he couldn't afford to buy anything outright. We drafted an agreement where Annie would keep ownership of the motel, but with the Klaus orphanage as the exclusive renter. So only the Klaus orphanage can rent here? So long as they keep paying the rent, the Klaus orphanage can stay. I drafted the lease myself. It's more solid than liquid ginger and nettle tea. I actually have a copy of the lease here. You can take a look at it. Orphanage lease, the lease agreement between the motel and Klaus's orphanage, under which the Klaus orphanage cannot be evicted except for unpaid rent. April 24th, 9:56 a.m. Klaus orphanage, garage. So this is the garage, huh? It doubles as the maintenance room. I wonder if Meg's here. Hey, Ernest. What you doing here? Just here to check up on Bill. I wanted to know if his recovery was going well. Oh, I had myself an assistant since the last time I was here. This is Justina Smith, my very own protege. By protege, he means I have to lug around all the evidence and drive him everywhere. That, my dear student, is how you learn. Nice to meet you, Justina. I'm Megan Kaneki, but you can call me just Meg. Pleasure to meet you, Meg. Do you work here? Yep, I do all the maintenance here, though at the moment, I've been preoccupied with Bill's car. I'm a mechanic too, you know. You seem a little young to be a mechanic. I'm perfectly old enough. I've just turned 18. I've just got a lot of talent. I haven't made this helmet myself. What you think? Cool, huh? Hold on. Aren't those supposed to cover your entire face? Hey, it's still a work in progress. Looks great to me. Anyways, while we're here, I wanted to see if we could finally solve the mystery behind Bill's accident. I really don't think you should worry about it. It was just a harmless prank after all. Harmless? Bill could have died. I don't think it was meant to be that serious. Just what do you mean? Well, the kids here get bullied a lot. So I think it was just someone who wanted to mess with us and got a little carried away. I don't think any good of it is coming out making a big deal of it. It's better to just let it go. I understand how you feel, but Bill is my friend. Intentional or not, he could have gotten really hurt. I'm not gonna rest until I solve it.
hang on. Isn't this just our cover story? Why is he so into this all of a sudden? No, whatever. Just go along with it for now. All we want to know what happened that day. Can you tell us where you were? All right, but I don't have much to say. I was working on Bill's car the day of the crash, just fine-tuning some things. I didn't notice any major issues, so I went at break at 1:45 p.m. By the time I got back, Bill was already in the car and he took off. He had an issue with the brakes, and next thing I knew, he had crashed into a tree. Made sure Bill was safe. I've been working on fixing this up. Just waiting on a few more parts and should be as good as new. Kaneki's statement. Meg claims she was working on Bill's car until 1:45 p.m. on the day of the crash. Bill since hired her to repair his car for him, which she has almost finished. So the culprit must have tampered with the brakes during her break. Brakes. I feel like I'll be saying these words a lot today. Yeah, my break is 15 minutes long, so that would have been plenty of time to pull it off. Still, that suggests to me that this was planned. Someone waited until they knew there wouldn't be anyone around the car. That would also mean that the culprit must have known the hours you work. Who knows about your schedule? I mean, it's not much of a secret. All the kids know, and so do Bill and Annie. Let's see. I also do part-time work at the mechanic shop. My coworkers there know my schedule here as well. Oh, oops. Ah, shoot. Doesn't seem like we're able to narrow it down just like that, then. Say, Meg, do you mind if we poke around in here a very bit? I don't mind, but the accident was a month ago. I'm not really sure what you'd expect to find. Alright. Let's check the car. What an interesting car. I take it this is Bill's car? Sure is. I'll have it fully repaired and back to its former glory soon. I'm glad you kept the original paint colors. Still yellow as always. This thing always takes me back. Bill and I used to ride this baby for miles. I don't understand why you want a yellow car. It's hideous. What do yellow cars ever do to you? I never care what's on the outside. It's the internals that matter to me. A good engine is what makes a car, and the engine on this one is a thing of beauty. They don't make them like this anymore. Still, this car looks great. I'll never be able to tell it got into a wreck. You did a good job repairing it. What's left to do? Just waiting on a few more parts to come in. Bill already paid me for all the work. This car is a classic, so it needs special parts that are hard to get. It's hard to find a good deal. Plus, the parts take forever to show up. I'll write this down. What a lonely-looking box, all alone in the corner. Oh yeah, that's where I keep my spare rope. What do you need rope for? It comes in handy for a lot of things. It's good to have in hand. Huh. This one looks all short and frayed. Some of these others are knotted together. Huh. That's weird. I'd have sworn I still had a long spool of rope in there. The stuff is useless to me in that state. I guess I'll have to go buy some more. For now, I'll take note of it. We got a lot of tools here. Yep, I got everything we need to fix this place up. Wrenches, nuts, bolts, chainsaws. Chainsaws? I made trimming the trees way more fun. That sounds really dangerous. It's completely safe with this helmet. Maybe harder to see, but I don't have to worry about anything hitting my face. That makes it even worse. Oh, hey, I remember this thing. What's it called again? It's called the dolly. My dad had one that I rode all the time as a kid. I take it to the top of the hill and then roll down. I never knew you were a daredevil. I was, briefly. Then my sister ratted me out to my parents. So, what do you use this thing for? It makes getting under cars a lot easier. It's also nice for moving heavy stuff around. Maybe using it like a toy was a bad idea. What's with all the spray paint? Spray paint gets a bad reputation, but it's cheap and versatile. I used this stuff a lot back in high school, so I'm a bit of an expert. Looks like some of these labels are labeled FN. This belonged to someone I used to know. Just throw them away. Something happened? It's nothing. I'll write that down. Hey, detective. I have a stepladder. It sure is. Let's move on. Hold on, it could be important. It's just a stepladder. Those are never important. It says you. Maybe the stepladder's the key to solving the case. Oh, really? I'd love to hear your theory. Well, maybe they... No, that doesn't work. Why don't you think about it while we investigate? If you think it's important, then we'll come back here right away. Fine. And if I'm right, you owe me a latte. And if I'm right? It seems like a very one-sided bet. Extra steps. Examine the stepladder. Well, that's pretty much an Ace Attorney reference, so... Alleyway? Looks like no one's here at the moment. I should go explore other areas more and come back here later. So, how did you end up becoming a mechanic? Funnily enough, from Annie. When I moved 4 or 5 years ago, I saw her working on her car. Turns out she'd been working with machinery since she was a kid. I started watching her, and we bonded over it. Huh. I thought she was just a magician. She's both. It's how she learned how to make her own stage tools. So after getting the basics from her, I started learning more on my own. That's how I got here. I just wish Bill would be more supportive. Bill's a bit of a hardhead, but he does it out of love. Just show him how happy this makes you, and he'll turn around. How could someone have messed up at the brakes? Weren't you here all day? I left the garage unattended during my break. Perfect time for someone to come. I take my breaks over by my old room. Part of me really misses living here. Oh, to be young. Back in my day, I couldn't wait to move out. You say that like you're an old man. You're still in your 30s. Years on the force makes you feel older. Let's talk about Bill Klaus. So, what do you think of Bill? He's nice, if not a bit overbearing. He's always going about school and church, but he loves kids, and he loves what he does. Growing up here wasn't always that easy, but it could have been a lot worse. Sounds like a pretty good guy. Yeah, only he quit trying to make me go to college. He'll come around. It's just hard for him. It's just hard for him to accept that college isn't for everyone. I know how that is. My dad was the same way. What's it like growing up here? It's certainly a unique environment. Sure is. Took some getting used to, that's for sure. But I really like the other kids that were here. But I really like the other kids that were here. We were all sort of like one big family. Bill was kind of a father to us. Still is, I guess. What did you do for fun? Well, you did hear this from me, but sometimes we'd pull pranks on Bill. Just harmless fun. One time I swapped around the wiring in his car. The look on his face when the AC dial started changing the radio, priceless. Note to self, don't let Megan near the cruiser.
we go to the alleyway now? Not yet. Okay, we already read that. I was working on Bill's car at the end of the crash, just fine-tuning some things. Do we trust this one? Well, she's an old friend of our detective, Hunt. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. FM. Break at 1:45 p.m. Surely there must be something we can actually use. Well, hold up. Didn't notice any major issues. Oh, there's this. You know, Meg, Bill likes to keep a lot of his receipts and records lying around his office. We found this in his room. You ordered a brand new pair of brakes at 1:15 p.m., just before the accident. There weren't any issues with the car. Why would you order a pair of brakes? Well, I'm surprised he still has that. Bill's pretty bad at throwing away things. Mind explaining why you ordered these brakes?
Well, look, I can explain.
More explaining, I see.
Those brakes weren't for Bill's car. I ordered them for my own car. The brakes had worn out from overuse. I must have left the receipt in Bill's room. I paid for the brakes myself. I'd show you, but I left my car at home.
Something still seems off.
I should consider looking over her statement again. Those brakes weren't for Bill's car. I ordered them for my own car. Brakes are worn out from overuse.
Overuse? Insurance letter, maybe? No.
Brakes worn out from overuse. According to Miss Card, Meg finished rebuilding her new car 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, how can she fix her car's brakes on something that just, like, was done 2 weeks ago? Doesn't make any sense.
So you ordered a brake pedal to replace the previous one in your car?
Bingo.
The thing is, we talked to Miss Card. She said you finished rebuilding your car 2 weeks ago. The accident took place before then. If you couldn't even drive your car yet, how would the brakes even be worn out?
She did?
Yeah, that's right. They were worn out, just not by me. Let me explain. The car I was rebuilding already had brakes, but I found out they were all worn out. Annie usually helps me with parts. She didn't have any brakes, but she didn't have any brakes I could use, so I got them myself. I ordered them online, and then I went to pick them up when I got off work. See? It's not really a big deal. I just worded things wrong. I guess that does explain everything. Maybe she isn't hiding anything after all. Well, alright then. Can we actually go to the alleyway right now? Oh, I guess we can. And whoever is going to be there will have to wait until next time, because I think I'm going to call it here for tonight. We've been at it for almost 3 hours, and I think this is a pretty good place to stop. Let me go to settings and let's save. And we'll save in this slot. Yeah. Alrighty. We did manage to finish up case 2. Now we're already in a new case, which is, again, the intention of this game is like, they're all different events that happen in a big overarching event, which is honestly pretty interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to call it here, guys. Thank you all for watching tonight, either live or via the archives.
Tomorrow we'll be having our usual Monster Hunter stream. We'll be still playing Monster Hunter Wilds. We may have finished the story, but we'll do a little bit of more grinding. Get better equipment, get better armor, and maybe fight a good bunch of tempered monsters. Maybe we'll get to reach to a to the right HR in order to fight Zoshia again. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Before I go, as per usual, at the very least on the Twitch side of things, let me see if I can actually raid someone. Let's see. Who can we raid? Can we raid that I haven't raided before? You know, I haven't actually raided Juno for a while. I think I'm probably the only one who's playing this game right now. Yep, I'm the only one playing this game right now. All right, let me see if we can raid Juno. She is having a Zatsudon stream, it seems. Actually check. Oh no, she's actually ending. Never mind, I guess we're not raiding her. Let's see someone else then. Maybe we can find someone new. Let's see, actually check the visual novel side of things. Visual novel. Since this is a visual novel, surely there is someone who is streaming visual novels. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, we have someone playing Needy Streamer Overload. That's a game that we actually streamed before. We can raid you guys there. If the raid actually works. Bam. Oh yeah, we can. Alrighty, guys. Hope you all have a great night, evening, or afternoon, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye-bye.